name is Carolyn Nickel, certified holistic nutritionist and one of the owners here at the Energy Shack Juice Bar, where everything we make is designed for healing. Outside of the amazing smoothies, juices, milks, and all the wonderful food we make, which has no refined sugar, artificial flavors, everything is natural, and we pretty much make everything from scratch. But one of the greatest things we do here is help to reverse your lifestyle diseases. We help to get rid of diabetes, high blood pressure, digestion issues, help you get to sleep. We have even had some success at reversing cancer. So how do we do that? We do that through a program that we call New Start. It's nicknamed the 8 Laws of Health. Every letter means something, and I'd like to show you how this program works. N is for nutrition. E is for exercise. W is for water. S is for sunshine. T is for temperance. A is for air, fresh air. R is for rest. And T is time with God. Or if you're not a Christian, it's time for you to de-stress. The program is not unique to the Energy Shack. In fact, it was developed by a Christian woman in the 1800s. We use it here at the Energy Shack because I've used it for over 20 years, and it doesn't seem to matter what your health issue, race, color, creed, it seems to put everybody's body back into balance. The reason being is that there is no such thing as one magic nutrient, supplement, or superfood. There's no one thing out there that can bring healing to your body for any specific issue, because your body was designed to heal itself. So when you put these 8 laws of health into practice, something amazing happens. Your body goes back into balance and it does what it's supposed to do. Find the issue and heal itself. So without any further delay, let's get into these 8 laws of health. I'm going to explain nutrition the most. The rest I'll just breeze through. And if you're interested in getting some further help with this program, we will show you some options at the end where we can customize a meal program for you, even assign a nutritionist to help you, and even furthermore, make the meals for all the program. However, everything I'm sharing with you today is absolutely free, and I'm gonna give you all the information for you to be able to make the changes and find the healing your body needs. So N, for nutrition. I don't know if you've ever heard of this word called homeostasis before. It's a big term, but basically in layman's terms, it just means balance. Your body knows all by itself how much vitamin B it needs, and vitamin C and D and water and blood pressure. It knows those things and is trying to keep those levels all day long. So the thing about homeostasis is that if it's not getting those nutrients, it has to find those nutrients. Where will it find it? From you, of course, or from me. It's like your body has this invisible checklist and it's trying to keep it full all day. The only way you're gonna get that full is by the things that you consume, not necessarily by supplements. So what happens when you are not eating all the right foods and drinking enough water? Your body has to find it. So water is a great example. If you're not drinking enough water, your body's about 65% water. Your body will have to find water. First, it will signal you to thirst. If you ignore that, you drink pop, tea, coffee, juice, or something else instead, it will find it. It may take it from the head, but then you get a headache. It may take it from the bowels, but then you get constipated. I'm saying this to tell you that a lot of the health issues that we're experiencing today are secondary health issues because we didn't fill up that checklist in the first place. So our job here at the Energy Shack is to show you just what's on that checklist very simply by following the rhythm of meals that we recommend you eat daily. Now, there's a couple things that do really interfere with homeostasis. First, the amount of toxins that are in your body, and second, your blood's pH balance. So it's really wonderful that you were designed with a liver because your liver will function to filter your blood and get the toxins out of your system. The truth of the matter is that most people have a lineup at the liver. It's really backed up. So we do recommend that you do before you even begin the program that we're suggesting is that you go on a juice fast, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days. Depending how long you go, would be through an assessment that we do. We do sell the juice fasts here. However, you can also do them from your very own home if you have a vegetable juicer. Now, not a blender. You need to separate the pulp from the liquid of the vegetables and vegetables only. We want to make sure that when we're juicing only vegetables. We can talk about that another time. You can also go on our website and find out more information about the juice detox, but I highly recommend you don't begin the detox until you talk to your practitioner or myself, who is a nutritionist. After 2 days of vegetable juicing, after the first 24 hours, your body is just in storage mode. It's when you get to the second day, 24 hours, when you pass that threshold, your body, it goes into starvation mode. Now it's burning fat to keep you alive, which, yes, great, you're losing weight, but the most important thing is that when the liver is backed up, those toxins get stored in your fat cells. So any day after the first day of fasting, you begin burning fat. You begin releasing toxins, and it's wonderful on this juice fast because then you are flushing lots of liquid, getting those toxins out, and you're just bathing your organs in these cold press, amazing vegetable nutrients. So it's a great way to start the program. However, there's definitely more steps to that, but one thing I want you to know is that after the juice cleanse, you don't want to keep backing up your system with toxins because the blood pH balance is so important. If your blood is acidic, that is an environment for disease to grow. It doesn't matter if it's cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or even a simple virus. Acidic blood will have disease growing. So we want to make sure that your blood is not acidic, but that you're eating foods that make your blood alkaline. And you're also not continuing to eat foods that back the liver up with toxins. Now, there are 3 food categories that, when consumed, make the blood very, very acidic. They also create a lot of toxins for your liver and your kidney to flush out. So we recommend that on this program, you just stay clear of these 3 food categories. The first one is all flesh foods. Unfortunately, fish, chicken, beef, pork, all seafood, anything that is full protein is almost 40% waste in your system. Why is that? Well, if I have an apple or a salad, I've got fiber in there, I've got water, I've got maybe some vitamin A, vitamin C, antioxidants. Every single thing you eat has to get broken down in the small intestines to its molecular state so your body can pull out the nutrients and package them up and send them to the right place. So as it's going through your apple, the water just seeps out through the stomach and intestinal lining. Fiber doesn't require digestion, so it pretty much just goes out through the colon. So although your apple might have been this big, maybe this much was as much as your body needed to work on. The rest was fiber and water. Really simple, right? Which is why you eat an apple and you get super hungry pretty quickly. However, when you're eating something like fish, chicken, beef, seafood, it's all protein. There's no fiber, very little water, and few minerals or nutrients. So what happens? As your body has to break down this protein, which, I may add, is one of the hardest things to digest. As your body is breaking down this protein to its molecular state, it's going to take days, 24 to 72 hours, depending what type of meat it was. So as it is digesting, since there's no refrigeration system in you or my small intestine, it is actually rotting and putrefying as it's digesting. It's creating toxic waste, lots of uric acid. And that really, really backs up the liver and the kidneys as your body's trying to flush that out. If you can imagine, that's going on for at least 24 hours, but we're not just eating meat once a day. Some of us are eating it 3 times or even more a day. So that being said, it's probably time for a detox and a great idea for at least 30 days, but I would hope for the rest of your life, to just let go of all your animal protein and move to other proteins, like your beans, like your nuts, like your seeds. And the truth of the matter is that there's protein in everything, even an apple. So the second category is dairy products, and that includes all dairy products. You may be saying, oh, don't worry, I don't drink milk anymore. But are you consuming cheese? Do you use whey protein? Cottage cheese, cheddar cheese, any kind. What about yogurt, ice cream, chocolate? Almost all of those things. Chocolate can sometimes be the exception. We'll discuss that later. But all those things, in fact, have dairy products in them. What is the problem with dairy products? Well, number one, dairy products is breast milk designed for a baby cow. So all those fats, all those hormones, all those sugars are in there designed to take this little baby calf and blow it up to a big mother cow or bull very quickly. So what is it doing to us? kind of the same thing. And in fact, even if the fat has been taken out, the sugar has been taken out, that's gone through a very, very serious process. But the problem also is that the hormones in it are not human hormones. So they're messing with our hormones because our body doesn't even recognize them as human hormones. It's messing with our digestive system. It's messing with a lot of our reproductive systems, female menstrual cramps, eczema, psoriasis, the list goes on. But there's a problem number 2 with dairy products. The problem today is that also our cows, they are being milked not in a farm, not by, Farmer Joe. And when Betsy says moo, Farmer Joe stops milking and says, okay, they're being milked by machines. Our cows are being milked constantly. In fact, they're forced to be impregnated manually over and over and over again so they can continue to lactate for almost 5 years of their life, where at that point, nobody can breastfeed for that long. Take it from me. At that point, the cows will collapse. They will become the beef or whatever they're going to do with it, and that cow is very sick at that time. Through that time of lactation, those cows are being pumped with steroids, hormones, antibiotics, all sorts of things so that that cow continues to stand and just get milked constantly. That milk is tainted with so many toxins, never mind the cows being in so much stress. And then what do? We take that milk and we have to pasteurize that milk because that's the law here in North America. So we take that milk and we put it at extreme high heats to kill the bacteria. But you know what you do? In those high heats, when you heat toxins, you actually make them more toxic. And at those levels of heat, calcium is ruined. So what are we getting from our glass of milk or our cheese or even our yogurt? A mouthful of toxins. We are certainly not getting absorbable, usable calcium or really much else that's good for our body. So we recommend, again, for 30 days at the very least, that you just take the dairy products out of your diet and use a plant-based milk. There are certainly some imitation cheeses out there, but we're recommending you go really plant-based without using any artificial meats or artificial cheeses and just give your body a break for digestion. Which brings me to my last category, sugar. Of course, sugar is a plant-based food, but no, it's not good for you. It is so refined, and I'm talking about white sugar, brown sugar, honey off the shelf. A little bit of raw honey is okay, a little bit of maple syrup is okay. There are some good alternatives, but the truth of the matter is that most of us have a sugar addiction, and our job here is to help you break that so that you can not be led by your cravings, but your need to eat. So we ask you to just stay away from refined sugars, and also you will notice that something really incredible happens. My clients tell me this over and over again. As they begin to follow the program, their cravings start to go away because they're getting their fresh fruits, they're getting their dried fruits. But a lot of the times when we have cravings, this is something, a good truth that you need to know. When you have cravings, a lot of times it's because your body is saying, I need B vitamins, I need vitamin A, I need vitamin C. But we can't interpret those cravings, those feelings, so we think it means I need sugar, I need potato chips. But when you start eating plant-based, when you start having lots of big salads and lots of good nutrients, those cravings go away. And you notice, and I get that feedback all the time, that you don't need that sugar. You can walk right by the dessert aisle and the ice cream aisle and be like, wow, I can't believe I don't need this, because your body is nourished. Most of us are malnourished. We're not giving ourselves enough nutrients we need, so our body is screaming for those nutrients, and we think it means sugar. Now, what you eat is so super important, but how you eat is equally important. I want you to understand that digestion is key. If you have any trouble with gas, bloating, acid reflux, pain in the stomach, indigestion, uncomfort, something's not going right in your digestive system, as you probably already know. But the problem is, it doesn't matter how many spinach salads you eat, your body's not going to be able to take apart the nutrients properly and give you the nutrients that you need. So you kind of are wasting a lot of good foods because your body's not digesting properly. Digestion requires the most energy of the human body because it is the most important. Food is our medicine. So we want to make sure, and I want to make sure, that your body is digesting the way it needs to. So there are a couple things to note. First of all, when food goes into the mouth, the stomach acids come out in full force to digest that food. Here's the truth you need to know. If you drink while you're eating, you actually dilute the stomach acids, and there's so much liquid in the gut that it's almost like the acids can't actually reach the food because there's so much liquid. It's very important that we don't eat and drink at the same time. After your meal, you should wait 1 to 2 hours, 2 hours is better, and then drink water and only water until your next meal. The program is designed to give you larger meals. I do know there's a lot of information out there, and even doctors will tell you lots of small meals for the day. No, not a lot of small meals for the day. We mess up digestion when we do that. Take it from me because I've been through it all personally. You should be, and I should be, having larger meals because if you look at the human body and the digestive system, your digestive system was designed to be almost about 75% full. That's when digestion will happen with all the right stages. Small meals all the time end up giving us small bowel movements. When you have bigger, fuller, fibrous meals, you end up with bigger, fuller bowel movements. So on the program, we recommend that you have a very big breakfast, a good lunch, and a super light dinner. And you are going to space your meals about 5 hours in between. And don't forget, after your big meal, how long are you going to wait? 1 to 2 hours. And then you drink water and only water until you're hungry again. It's also very important, and this is a truth that we need to know, is that cooked food, even plant-based cooked food, doesn't have any enzymes in it. So we should be having something raw before we have something cooked. The raw food has enzymes in it already naturally. So the raw food helps to digest the cooked food. Your body has to produce the enzymes in order to digest cooked food. When raw food is in there, it's less work on your body. And as I mentioned, because digestion takes so much energy, you want to give digestion a break whenever you can. So before you have your chickpeas, your spinach, your sweet potato, have a nice big leafy green raw salad first. Before you go into your steel-cut oats, have fruits first. Always have the raw before the cooked. And remember, your meals are being spaced out 5 hours apart. You're going to have like supper for breakfast. You're going to have a really good lunch. And at 4 o'clock, as the sun begins to set, our bodies, they slow down. So our metabolism slows down. So anything we're going to eat after 4 p.m. is going to take almost twice as long to digest than it would if we ate it before 4 o'clock or first thing in the morning. Now, of course, that's important for weight loss. But more than that, it's important for healing. Why? Because while you sleep, your body takes all those wonderful nutrients you've eaten all day, and it starts to repair. However, as I mentioned, digestion requires the most energy of the body, so if it's busy digesting all that big dinner you had that night, it doesn't have time to repair because it has to work on digestion. So the problem with that is that while you're sleeping, your body is working so hard. So we have a hard time shutting down because there's food in our stomach. When we're sleeping, we're waking up. Or when we wake up, even if we've had a full night's sleep, we are not rested because our body's been so busy all night. So it's very important that your last meal of the day is the lightest, if you even need it. Most of my clients, myself included, have a really big breakfast, a good lunch, and just a cup of herbal tea for dinner because we are just not hungry. So your dinner may be a salad, maybe a small soup, maybe an apple, maybe a green smoothie, something super light is what you would like to have at night if you needed it all. And don't forget, we're spacing our meals 5 hours apart so that you, of course, will not be snacking between your meals. Snacking interrupts digestion. Only one thing can be digested in your body at a time. So as food enters, digestion begins to do its work. And as it's doing its work, you want to leave it alone. Wait that 1 to 2 hours and then give it water and only water until the next meal. And you will know that the next meal needs to come in because guess what? you will feel hungry. If you're not hungry, the food is still there generally. And so in those cases, even if you introduce one healthy nut, one cherry, one strawberry, one carrot stick, digestion will stop working on the current food and start working on the new food. And that's so problematic because that first food was wrapped up in all these stomach enzymes and the process stops and it begins to work on the new food. And that first food, because it's wrapped up in all those acids, creates this fermentation, gas, and bloating in your stomach. And even worse than the feeling that you get, all those good nutrients you had in your salad or your steel-cut oats or your fruits, your vegetables, because there's fermentation happening, the rotting begins. And those nutrients are destroyed. And when they go into your small intestine, guess what? All that money you spent on your kale salad and all your good food, right out the toilet, literally. So, as I mentioned, there will not be snacking between meals. You could call your dinner a snack because it's going to be super small, if anything at all. The last thing I just want to share with you about nutrition is your nervous system. Because our nervous system, our brain and our spinal cord, it actually tells our digestive system what to do. That's who's in charge. Your mind is an incredible work of machinery. And you want to make sure that you're not doing anything to stop that vital force in the body. And you also want to make sure that your mind is not clouded and fogged. So I do want to give you a tip on a few things to note. Your brain is wrapped up in all this fatty tissue called a myelin sheath. That myelin sheath is so important. You can see on the picture that when that begins to get degenerated, you have to know that a lot of things could be setting in there. Anxiety, forgetfulness, eventually Alzheimer's, dementia, any kind of nervous system disorders. So it's very important that we have a healthy myelin sheath. Well, how do we do that? First of all, we talked about a lot of the toxins that we eat that can affect the body and even break down the myelin sheath. The good news is that it is repairable for the most part. We can eat good fats or avocados or nuts and seeds that are not roasted and salted, your healthy oils like your avocado oil or your olive oil, not heated of course, your coconut oil, your flax oil. There's lots of good oils, and of course you need to be moderate with those things. And you need antioxidants and B vitamins, which come from all the plant foods that we know, our grains, our beans, our vegetables, and our fruits. So that's great, we have that done. But I want to let you in on a little secret here. There is something that we can put into our body, or that we have in our body, that's worse than all the bad food put together. That, my friends, is stress. Stress will kill you before bad food does, and that's an absolute truth. So, at the very last acronym for New Start, I'll give you a few tidbits about stress, but I do want you to understand that you could be the healthiest plant-based eater in the whole world. If you stress out, you will be a lot unhealthier than a very happy steak eater. That doesn't give you permission to eat steak though. So that's one thing I want you to understand. The other thing is caffeine. So speaking on the nervous system, it's also very important to know that caffeine wreaks absolute havoc on the nervous system. So that's your black tea, your green tea, your white tea, your coffee, your chocolate. Yes, even chocolate. In fact, the darker the chocolate, although it has lots of flavonoids, believe it or not, but the darker the chocolate, doesn't matter how many antioxidants you get, the richer the caffeine. And that caffeine is so detrimental to you. So that includes, as I mentioned, your black tea, your energy drinks, your cola, anything that has caffeine, you should steer clear of it. It is robbing you of sleep, robbing you of energy. It is messing up your digestive system. And it's in fact robbing your bones and joints of calcium, flushing it out your bladder as if you don't need it. Just because there are places to get coffee on every single corner, it does not mean that it's good for you. It is a drug that should not be legal anywhere in the world. Coffee is great for enemas, but it's certainly not good for you to ingest. So we are asking you to stay clear from caffeine, at least for the first 30 days, but I really hope for the rest of your life, because really it is just robbing you of your vital energy and your vital force that your body actually produces, that natural ability to keep you awake, keep you alert, shut you down when you need to. But caffeine hijacks that. So I'm suggesting and really strongly recommending that for the duration of the program, and I hope for the rest of your life, you stay clear of any caffeinated products. So that's the wrap up for nutrition. I'm just going to breeze through exercise and the rest of the 8 laws of health very quickly. Not because they're any less important. They just take a bit of less explaining because most of us know the importance of the second law of health, which is exercise. Exercise is so hugely important. You will notice that a lot of people who exercise very often don't get sick very much. Why is that? Because your lymph system, where all your white blood cells hang out, you know, all your white blood cells that fight all your viruses and all that, they hang out in your lymph system. Your lymph system, unlike your heart, does not have a pump. It moves when you move. So as you are exercising and doing some good vigorous exercise, you're also pumping your lymph system. Never mind the good endorphins, never mind how strong it makes your bones, your muscles. It helps to retain your calcium. Exercise has so many benefits. It makes you feel good. It makes you look good. It helps to burn fat. It gets your circulation moving. It gets your bowels moving. I could be here all day to tell you the benefits of exercise, but I think you know them. So we recommend that you do 30 to 60 minutes of some good vigorous exercise every day. Do you have to join a gym? Do you have to have a personal trainer? Those are wonderful, but just a good vigorous walk outside. Running's really, really hard on the knees, so I suggest some good power walking. Get those arms lifted, get that head up, and go until you can feel that your heart is pumping. Do some muscle training, simple push-ups, sit-ups, get some light weights, but we do need to do exercise. 30 to 60 minutes a day, and I'm going to tell you, outside exercise is the best kind of exercise. So the third law of health is water. Water is the fountain of youth. Yes, we have found the fountain of youth. Water can help you have less wrinkles, make your skin nice and plump. It flushes toxins out of your body. It keeps your bowels moving. It helps to reduce brain fog. Water does so many amazing things in your body. It definitely keeps you young, lowers your blood pressure, helps also to lower blood sugar. Water and only water is what we need to drink between meals. Remember, that is the key. And you want room temperature water. Too cold shocks the body. Too warm does the same thing. So we want to make sure we're drinking room temperature water and only water between our meals. Remember, we're going to wait 1 to 2 hours after we eat and then drink water for the next 4 to 5 hours until we're hungry again. Here's a little truth that a lot of people don't know. We should not be putting lemons in our water, cucumber in our water, cilantro in our water, or drinking coconut water or herbal tea or anything like that between meals. Why? Because all of those things inside the water interrupt digestion. Is lemon good in the water? Yes, absolutely. First thing in the morning on an empty stomach. We need to drink it quickly. Let it be a flush. That lemon water, the residue, will wake up your enzymes, let your body know food is coming, but that lemon water is so healing for the kidney and the liver, keeps them flushed and clean. So yes, lemon is great in the water, but first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, drink it quickly, wait about 15 minutes, let the lemon and the water go. It takes about 15 minutes to 20 minutes for water to leave the stomach lining. So you want to wait that time, have another glass of water, wait about 15-20 minutes, and then you're going to bring in your food. Remember, we don't want water and food happening in the beginning part of stages of digestion. So then, is herbal tea good? Well, yes, many herbal teas are good for you. Again, you have to consume them on an empty stomach. So at night, instead of eating, maybe you have a herbal tea. Or as your second glass of water, maybe a herbal tea. But never ever between meals, because it does create an interruption for digestion. Also remember that water is not just good for the inside of the body, but it's wonderful for the outside of the body. So important to be hygienic. Make sure that we are clean, we're using water to clean ourselves, but also we need to use water for hydrotherapy, hot and cold showers, hot and cold foot baths. Of course, these are things that you may not be familiar with, but at the Energy Shack, we do a lot of those things and recommend a lot of those things. So you can reach us at any time if you need more information about hydrotherapy. I just, more than anything, want you to understand the importance of water, fresh, clean, pure water. We have that privilege in North America to have clean water. And I also recommend that you go with a water that has some sort of purification. Reverse osmosis or distilled water are your two best choices, I do not believe in alkaline water, only for specific purposes. And again, you can reach me to discuss more information. But more than anything, I'm just happy if you're drinking water. So that is the water, the third law of health. Let's move to the fourth law of health, which is sunshine. It's so wonderful when that sunshine comes out, whether it's winter, fall, summer. We love the sunshine. Most of us anyways. I know some people do run away from it. But what's important is that we're not getting the sunshine on the skin in the heat of the day. Before 10 o'clock, after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, those are the best times to get your sunshine. Why do we need sunshine? For a couple reasons. Well, there are a lot of reasons. Number one, when the UV rays hit the skin, it actually will convert cholesterol to vitamin D. So if you're looking to lower cholesterol, which can also help to lower blood pressure, we need sunshine. 30 minutes minimum, but we need about an hour a day. So the other importance about sunshine is that it will stimulate your pineal glands. Right behind your eyes is your pineal gland, and when that gets stimulated, serotonin's released, and that's the I feel so happy hormone. So it's very important that we get outside, get that sunshine, not just through a glass. We need to get it physically. It's also antifungal. So open up your blinds, let that sun hit your bed, get rid of the bed bugs. It's also great if you've got any skin disorders, let the sun hit your skin. For the most part, there are some skin disorders that will be worsened with sunshine, but for the most part, if you've got any skin issues, that sun hitting your skin will help also to get the fungus away and help to repair the skin. Again, not going out in the heat of the day, but going out before 10 o'clock in direct sunlight or after 3 p.m. So enjoy the sunshine even in the winter. Bundle up, let your hands see the sunshine, let your face and your neck see the sunshine. It's so very important. And that moves us to our next law of health, which is temperance. Now I want you to understand that temperance is not moderation. Temperance is being moderate with things that are good and keeping away from things that are harmful. So we're not going to drink gallons and gallons of water because that wouldn't be good for us. We're also not going to eat a whole bag of nuts, even if they're unsalted and unroasted in one sitting. We're also not going to eat a whole avocado in a sitting because that's just too much burden on the digestive system. So moderation with things that are good, but keeping away from things that harm. So on our program that we do for 30 days, but again, I hope you do it for the rest of your life, we are going to stay away from things that are harmful. So in this case, we're going to keep away from pop, tea, coffee, juice, fish, meat, snacking between meals, sugar. The whole list is right up there, and especially vinegar. Here's a truth about vinegar. Even apple cider vinegar is detrimental for the human body. And again, like caffeine, I don't say that word lightly. Any type of vinegar is going to be very problematic in the body. Yes, apple cider vinegar will make you feel like you're digesting better. But here's the problem. Here's what's actually happening. When vinegar is present, your stomach acids back off because the vinegar is doing the digestion. And as with caffeine, you never want to override your body's natural ability to do anything because it weakens it and it shuts it down. So you do not want to weaken your stomach acids. But when vinegar is present, you're weakening your stomach acids because they back off. And when no vinegar is present, then your stomach acids are just not as strong as they should be. That's problem number one. Problem number two, which is actually worse than that. Understand that vinegar is wine fermented. Wine is already fermented, it's grapes fermented, but vinegar is wine fermented. This kind of fermentation, as you know, because you can pickle with it, when you put vinegar in your system and it sits in your body, digestive system, small intestines, it's actually fermenting food. And that's not the good fermentation that turns into probiotics. This is like poison into your bloodstream. You want to keep away from any type of vinegars, whether it's apple cider, balsamic, red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, doesn't matter what flavor it is. Vinegar is detrimental. There are some wonderful uses for vinegar. Apple cider vinegar, it's very antifungal as well. It's great for warts, dandruff, even ringworm. You can use vinegar to clean things. You can use apple cider vinegar to catch fruit flies. So there is a purpose for it. but it should not be the inside of your body. Wherever you see recipes that call for vinegar, you can use lemon juice or lime juice, because lemon juice and lime juice, although they may be acidic on the surface, to the body, they're pretty alkaline. So you can use those in all of your dressings or any kind of recipes that call for vinegar. We are going to move on to the next law of health. A is for fresh air, our next law of health. Fresh air is so important. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. I'm sure you know how it feels to be stuffy inside, go outside, whether it's winter or summer, and it's so nice to get that fresh air. The reason why your body loves it so much as well is because oxygen heals and repairs damaged cells. It's so important. That's why raw vegetables are important, raw fruits are important. They still have all that oxygen in them. And that's very, very healing for your cells, because every disease that we know is generally comes down to cellular damage. And when you have more oxygen in your system, you can heal those damaged cells. So it's very important that, one, you are getting outside. We need to be outside as much as possible. And when we're inside, we should always have some sort of fresh air current, even when we're sleeping. But what is important is that once a day, twice a day, it's very important that we get outside and we do some deep breathing. Most of us, because we're just doing shallow breathing all day long, we have this stale air just sitting in our lungs. So it's so important to get outside at least once a day and do some deep breathing. You want to go back and forth about 4 or 5 times, taking in deeper breaths each time and letting out more and more air until you get to the 5th time you do it, where you let out all your air out of your lungs as much as you can, spit out the last of the air, and do some deep breathing. I'm sure I look very silly, but it's so wonderful, so invigorating. Your blood just loves to pick up all that oxygen, and it goes to the brain cavity and all through the body. It's so purifying. You know, our lungs do as much purifying as a lot of the other systems in the body that also purifying. Your skin, which is one of the largest detox organs, pores all over it. It's also a great detoxifier. But your lungs are huge for detoxifying, getting rid of toxins from the body. So we want to make sure we do that once or twice a day, especially if you have circulation issues, especially if you're struggling with mental health issues. It's so important. And when you do it, don't do it inside, don't do it on your bed before you're going to go to sleep. You want to be outside and not beside your car that's warming up in the morning. Stand by a tree. You know, trees give us oxygen. So you want to stand by a tree or a fresh piece of grass or something like that and do that deep breathing back and forth. It's so incredibly healing. We're almost done with our 8 laws of health. We're getting to R, which is rest. Rest, I have to tell you, is one of the most neglected laws of health for all mankind. Of course, nutrition's pretty bad for some people as well, but a lot of us compromise on sleep constantly. But even if you are not a stressed out person, you're a very relaxed person, if you are only getting less than 7 hours of sleep a night, your body's in stress, trying to keep you awake all day. Your body's producing all this cortisol, which is really eating away at your cells. It's so very, very important that we get 7 to 9 hours sleep every night. I did say that correctly, 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep. It should be completely dark, completely quiet, windows slightly open. And here's another thing that you may not know. It's so important that we lose our screens about an hour before bed. If we are looking at iPods, phones, TVs, computers, flashing at our eyes an hour before bed, your body could think it's morning and start producing serotonin. Serotonin's the daytime, I'm happy, I'm awake hormone. You don't want that when you're about to go to sleep. And melatonin and serotonin will not release at the same time. It's one or the other. So at night, just like a baby, you want to get into a bedtime routine. You want to be able to do some reading. The light flashing at the book is fine, just not at your eyes. Take a warm shower, do some quiet reading, drink a nice herbal tea, and get yourself in bed before midnight. I don't know if you know this, but any time after midnight, every hour after midnight that you're awake, your body will lose almost 2 hours of sleep. Why? Because your body goes into so much stress after midnight. I do know there's a lot of people that work the night shift, and God bless you, somebody has to, but you would probably know that your body's always compromised because you're never getting that full sleep. For most of us that are working in the daytime, when we push it past midnight, we are going into so much stress after midnight. So it's so important to get into bed well before midnight. Make sure it's dark, make sure it's quiet, make sure your window is slightly open. And of course, we're eating our lightest meal at night, so we will get much better rest. We will feel rested when we wake up. And because it's the lightest meal, we'll wake up hungry. That brings us to our last law of health. T, trust in divine power. Now, I will not take for granted, and I don't want to offend anybody who is not a Christian, believes in God. The woman who designed the program is a Christian, as am I. So my de-stress time, that's my prayer list. I pray for other people. I also give back a lot, go to community centers, go to the shelters, visit the nursing homes. I love to just pour my time, my energy, my love into other human beings. Understanding that even if you're not a Christian, you must have a de-stress time. We've got to do something outside of the rat race that makes us feel good, makes us feel happy. For you, maybe that's just a walk with your dog or helping out at the food bank. But we've got to de-stress. Me personally, I love the verse in Romans 8:28 that tells me that all things will work together for good to those who love God and are called according to his purpose. Why do I love that verse so much? Because that verse promises me that no matter what happens, whether I run out of pineapple at the store or my car burns down, all things is promised to me will work for good. So no stress, because every bad thing is going to work positively. And at the age that I am today, I have seen and can look back at my entire life and seen every single bad thing work for good. So stressing, it just takes years off our life and ruins our health. It is the greatest killer of all time. I'm saying this and stressing this so much because we need to lose our stress, and you need to find that de-stress time. You need to be honest about the stress triggers that are happening in your body, and we need to make changes to eliminate toxic relationships and as well toxic environments. However, you may be put in a place and in a valley right now that's actually working for your good. So I will just leave that information with you and understand that I believe someone has your back and will work out everything for good. Well, let's wrap it up. So I know that you have listened to this video and really appreciate you listening. And I know that it sounds like I am saying a lot of no's. Don't have any meat, no dairy, no sugar, no caffeine. I'm also telling you, don't eat and drink at the same time, no apple cider vinegar, no vinegar in any way. It sounds like so many no's and so many rules and so many restrictions. I totally get it. However, what I really want to leave you with more than anything is to understand that these 8 laws of health are not there to restrict you. In fact, I believe we were all created to live with ultimate pleasure, to have lots of energy every day, to have no trouble sleeping, to not have food addictions, to feel good at any age. I believe that we were designed to live life and live it abundantly. And I just want to tell you, and I hope that you will take some time and really listen to the testimonies that are also here. But I really want to tell you that by living by just these few restrictions under the 8 laws of health, it actually makes you free. I have energy every day. I am not a slave to medication. I am not a slave to fast food places or caffeine or sugar or the cookie jar. I'm actually more free than I've ever been in my whole life. And the clients that come and join the program, they also no longer are slaves to medication, slaves to digestion issue. They can't go to sleep. We go to sleep and we feel good. We wake up rested, ready to attack the day. So I don't want you to see this as a lot more rules and restrictions. It's not a new diet. It's not a new fad. It's an amazing way of living that by following some guidelines, these 8 laws of health, you actually free yourself. Free yourself to be free from your medication and have abundant life at any age. It's really incredible. Of course, I can't guarantee anything. Every human being is different. Genetics does have a role to play, but it's about 10%. So I really want to challenge you to take a hold of these 8 laws of health. Give it a try for 30 days. See if it doesn't change your life. And although there are going to be some things that you may live and be restricted on, change your mind about it. Realize that by following these 8 laws, you have freed yourself to live life and live it abundantly at any age. So I encourage you to check the testimonies below. Get in touch with us. A nutritionist will call you within about 24 hours, and you can be on the road to health. And even if you never call us, I hope you'll just take it upon yourself to truly make these changes so that you can feel good at any age. Thank you so much for listening. Carol and Nickel from the Energy Shack, where we believe eating healthy, living healthy, should not just be a temporary change, but truly a way of life.